And here, about a year and a half after it was introduced to the world, we have the PocketSprite, a miniature not a Game Boy from Sprite TM. Sprite first built this miniature Game Boy for the 2016 Hackaday Super Conference, and since then he's been hoping some factory in China would produce a few molds, fab a few PCBs, and start shipping out micro Wi-Fi handheld consoles around the world. That never happened, but now this tiny handheld is now a crowdfunding campaign on CrowdSupply. So here we have the PocketSprite box, a lovely matte black box embossed with a foil PocketSprite logo. And on the back we have the UPC and URL right there. And opening this box, that's a very nice fit, by the way. We have the PocketSprite itself embedded in die-cut foam. And this is really phenomenal packaging and a collector's item in its own right. And here we have the PocketSprite itself with the highly valuable screen protector. We have a D-pad, A and B, select and start, and on top we have the power button. So this is Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. It has full sound. It's honestly a little bit quiet, but that's to be expected.
The PocketSprite is powered by an ESP32 microcontroller, a dual-core 240 MHz microcontroller with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth Low Energy, 512K of RAM, 448K of ROM, and a 128 megabit flash chip, much more than the standard ESP32 module. This bigger flash chip means you have plenty of room for games. If you're playing an earlier Game Boy game like the original Tetris, you'll be able to fit hundreds of ROMs on the PocketSprite. For bigger games, Pokemon Crystal for example, the PocketSprite should be able to fit about a dozen or so ROMs. And of course you can use the Wi-Fi connectivity to change your ROMs out anytime you want. The screen is a beautiful OLED with a resolution of 96 by 64. This is about a quarter of the resolution of the original Game Boy, but with a bit of cropping, the graphics, even in text-heavy games like Pokemon, everything is very readable.
And here we are playing Pokemon Blue. I just picked up a Squirtle and battled Red. And we're leaving Pallet Town for the first time for... Ooh, what do we have?
Apart from the D-pad, A, B, select, start, and a power button, the only other outside bit on the PocketSprite is a micro USB connector used for charging. Even though the battery is relatively small, the ESP32 and OLED are extremely efficient. Your eyes and fingers will get tired before the battery wears out, and I wouldn't worry about the battery life taking this on a long train ride. In any event, the emulators save the state of your game so you can keep playing right where you stopped.
So before closing this out, I really need to express how small this thing actually is. This right here is an SD card, and it is completely covers the screen. It is just tiny. It is quite literally a pocket Game Boy that is also an ESP32 that runs Doom and will technically play Crysis. There is footage of it playing Witcher 3. I've been waiting a year and a half to hold this in my hands, and here it is. Right now it's available on CrowdSupply and should be for the next month or so. So check it out.